Today I'm going to be talking about monitoring and control of the Mahle X35 e-bike system. Although I'll be talking about my Orbea Gain, it might be applicable to your bike too. The main control for this X35 system is this iWoc button. It's usually located on the top tube. Now the big problem with that is really out of direct line of sight. So it makes it a little awkward to use. Therefore, some manufacturers and some riders have found alternative ways of controlling the bike.
The first option is to use your Mahle Smart Bike app, although I and others have found it rather unreliable.
The Orbeans out there are probably shouting,
use your Pulsar 1.
The Pulsar 1's a small cycle controller / computer that Orbea supply with their Gain models. It allows you to monitor the battery level, change the motor power level, and display some basic functions like speed. However, I don't have one of those, and even if I did, I'd probably still want to use my Garmin cycle computer. So if I had the Pulsar 1 and the Garmin, I would have many functions that were doubled up. And who wants to double up functions apart from mathematicians? Also, many other manufacturers don't supply such a device, so you're still reliant either on the iWoc button or connecting it to your cycle computer like I have. And indeed, you should be able to see now one of the screens on my cycle computer that has many of the e-bike functions on it. It shows the battery level, allows you to change the motor power level, and you can display some other information like speed, distance, travel range. These functions on my Garmin are quite good, however they're not perfect. There's a couple of problems. For instance, the screen is not always very responsive, so when I touch the screen nothing happens. Also, if I'm on some of my other screens, like the navigation screen you can see here, those functions aren't available to me. And really it's for those reasons that I've gone back to using the iWoc button for controlling the motor. Before I tell you about how I use my iWoc button, let's go through some of the basic functions. Now normally the light shows like this, not flashing. That's because it's showing the level of the battery, and the color changes depending on the battery level. It's showing red at the moment because the battery is quite low. However, if I just press it once, it'll start to flash. And that flashing indicates the motor power level. It's showing white. That means the motor is off. So in order to change up one level, I have to press the button again while it's flashing. So if I press it twice, that takes me up one motor level, and it's showing green, which means level 1. If I want to change down, so in this case back to level 0, all I need to do is press the button multiple times. So if I press this 4 times, this will circulate through the different levels and then go back to level 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's gone back to flashing white, which is level 0. So that's how I use my iWoc to control the motor power level.
In summary, if I want to change up one power level on the motor, I press the iWoc twice, and if I want to change down one level, I press the iWoc button 4 times. I can usually do that without actually looking down at the iWoc button, so I can keep my eyes on the road. As far as the battery level is concerned, I tend to use the display on my Garmin to monitor that, as it shows a proper percentage rather than just a range indicated by the colours on the iWoc button. From me, for now, it's goodbye.